Hello friends and welcome to my channel. Libra, your reading is giving me a bit of difficulty again. I've recorded it once, but I've kind of come back to it because I originally recorded it before the Scorpio eclipse, which I believe is tonight. I believe it's on the 16th, but a lot of people were talking about it yesterday on the 15th, so I don't know when it is exactly. But this eclipse, so the moon is in Scorpio, and basically what's going to happen is you're going to have the moon, Earth, and the sun, right? So the sun is going to cast a shadow because of, like, the sun is going to hit the Earth, it's going to cast a shadow, and it's going to create this kind of red glow on the moon in Scorpio. Now, Scorpio and the moon are both these really watery, almost like psychic, intuitive energies. Scorpio is also like plutonic energy. So the moon in Scorpio kind of representing for me at the moment like fears. It's kind of almost devil energy, if you know the devil card in the tarot. So it's almost like it's coming through like emperor energy and devil energy. So that kind of plutonic, kind of Hades, Dispater kind of energy, which kind of feels to me like almost like one of the guides, one of the energies that I tap into. So I know this sounds weird. Your reading's tricky. I'm trying to get to grips with it. Okay, we're gonna do like a normal reading in a sec, but I need to explain to you the context of what I've got going into your energy. So you're kind of, I'm hearing piggy in the middle, which is so funny because if I just show you, I've not even got this out ready or anything. The underline of this deck is the pig card. This piggy in the middle energy, which I'm gonna say I'm a bit offended by that, but it's like so you're coming through this almost like Queen of Wands energy, like this passionate, fiery, brave, outspoken, like good energies, like this creative energy. You are coming through as your cards. You're coming through as the Empress and the Justice card. But on one side of you is like this sun energy, which is talking about this light energy, and this dark kind of plutonic moon energy, which I don't know. It could be something about shedding a light on your fears. I don't know, it's strange. Even like when I was playing cards for myself off camera yesterday, I was asking a question about something for me personally, and it came out with the sun, the Queen of Wands, and the Devil. So I keep seeing this kind of pattern of like the eclipse energy playing out in the cards. So I'm going to kind of go into this as briefly as possible. There's some kind of duality coming through in your reading. So you can see the raccoon and the zebra are the perfect demonstrations of this, with this kind of black and white energy. I'm getting stuff as well about angels and purity and kind of like your more, I don't want to say devilish nature, but your more like base needs, right? Your base urges, the pure emotions. If you look at the reading I did yesterday on Sunday, there was a redefinition of the word purity, which came through as innocence is naivety, right? Innocence is not knowing the darkness, where purity is knowing the darkness and choosing light anyway. So it's almost like this card as well talks about the purity of your desires. So if you go to like the Justice card, for example, so the sword of truth, right? Speaking your truth, being very open and honest about what you need. And sometimes those needs are sexual needs. Sometimes those needs are not selfish needs, but needs that might not necessarily fit in with the needs of the people around you, right? It's your own honest truth about your own needs. And the sword of truth, which is, you know, your weapon in the tarot, weapon, it's like pen is mightier than the sword, right? Your communication skills, your intellect, your honesty, your truth, your veritas, you know, is part of your purity. That is your power, Libra, I want to say. And so you're coming through with this kind of like light in the darkness energy, like this purity energy. And I know that some of you are not feeling that. Some of you are in the darkness energy. So this may be awareness of your fears, guilt about your needs, guilt about acting on your own needs, feeling things that perhaps are not logical to feel. Something like this is like some of you could be questioning your own purity, and it's like these cards are here to remind you that you are pure, you are light, right? You're light and dark. With the raccoon and the zebra, it's like you are light and you are darkness. which is very much this justice energy. Like, it's almost like you've had this before. I know you've had this before with a little bit of high priestess energy coming in, a little bit Scorpio energy coming in. Now, we are next to each other in the zodiac, so some of you may be Libra Scorpio cusp, which may be why I pick up on this a lot for you. But on the high priestess card, one of these pillars is black and one of these pillars is white, indicating Scorpio's ability to see beyond the veil. There's a lot of similarity between the Justice card and the High Priestess card. Basically, the High Priestess is sat in a very similar pose with a veil behind her. Now, on the High Priestess card, that veil represents the conscious and the subconscious, or the 3D reality that we live in, and the dream world or the spirit world, right? So the veil between worlds. And the white and black pillars are kind of like the light and the dark. Now, the Justice card is coming through with a very, very similar energy for me today. So really coming through with this, it's like both energy, like having it in balance, the light and the dark being in balance, and being truthful about that, right? It's like the sun shining on the devil is has a message. Like the sun and the devil, like the devil can't hide when the sun shines on it. So you're hiding the devil. Okay, I'm sorry, it's unraveling as I speak. So you have this veil behind you, and the veil talks about, on the Justice card, it talks about the things that happen behind closed doors. So, you know, like when the jury goes out of the court to discuss their feelings on the case and to reach a verdict. So you're protecting the hidden spaces, you're protecting the, it's like you're protecting the secrets, you're protecting what happens behind closed doors, is the way it's coming through. So the really interesting thing, now I have done your reading once, and the guide that came through for you came through as this raccoon. So it's like, this is what you're hiding, right? You are acting as the earth, right? Which is coming through as Queen of Wands energy or Justice card energy. You are, I mean, you're the Empress as well, remember? So you are this balance of light and darkness. You are the incorporation of not only all four kings and queens of the tarot, or all four queens of the tarot, you know, every single suit of the tarot, but you're also, as the Empress, you are balanced. And as the Justice card and as Libra energy, you are balanced, right? You are, you don't just see in black and white, you see all the grey areas in between. So you, what am I saying to you? You have, because this is like what's either side, this is coming through as the two pillars for you. You make your decisions and you speak your truth based on these two pillars of unconditional love, the Ace of Cups. Like the unconditional love is like seeing the faults and loving anyway. So it's like understanding that nobody's perfect, understanding that people are going to make mistakes, understanding that people are going to make bad decisions, you know, and bad choices, but unpicking that and saying, okay, you made a bad choice, that doesn't mean you're a bad person. Let's figure this out together. Let's look underneath that bad choice and figure out the circumstances of that and see what we can do to stop that bad choice happening again, you know? So it's like unconditional, like love for the unlovable, right? And then this other pillar is like the Ace of Wands. So it's creativity, passion, desire, new ideas, innovation, breaking out of the box. So you have, and they're both divinely guided as well. Like all the aces are always like brought in by the hand of God. So like these two pillars that are almost like your backbone, you know, they are part of your truth, are these truths spoken, because the sword is like the third suit of the tarot, right? Your truth, which is like the Ace of Swords, like you are holding the Ace of Swords. So you've got these three tools of the tarot: the unconditional love, the emotions, you know, your cup overflows. So, and then the Ace of Wands, which is like passion and desire and creativity, and your own truth, right? Your own communication of this. So very, very balanced. Her scales are balanced, and like the truths you speak are based on your emotions and desires. Like everything about that is very, very balanced. But it's like, where's the pentacles? So there's this message almost like the pentacles, which is coming through as the kind of plutonic energy of Scorpio, because this can be like money and finances. It's kind of like Emperor. It's not the Devil card. It's it's more like Pluto energy. If you know kind of the god Pluto, Hades, he's not the devil. He's very, very different, actually. He's quite stoic. He's doing a job. So he's coming through, and he's associated with money and wealth as well, because he puts nutrients and minerals and precious gems in the ground. So it's hard for me to explain if you don't know the whole context, but I'm kind of trying to do it briefly. So it's like the money man, right? The emperor is behind the curtain, and it's almost like whatever you're doing, Libra, is you don't have to worry about the money. It's like this purpose that you're doing is more important than the money, and the money will come. The money, it's like you will be looked after, you will be protected. Don't worry about the money is the answer. So it's almost like wanting, do you know, like how the court system is often government funded? It's like it's a funded institution, right? It's funded through public money. Or how if you were going to do a course and there was a benefit to you doing that course, so perhaps for example, like teacher training or, you know, nursing, it's like it's funded, it's already paid for. So it's like it's already paid for by the energy that you're protecting behind the scenes, which is coming through as like this like scorpionic emperor energy, this plutonic energy. But it's hidden, right? Like the moon in Scorpio is hidden by the earth, which is you, and the sun trying to shine on it, right? So it's not bad. This is the thing, it's not bad. But I think the people involved may be questioning what they're doing. It's like, does this make me a bad person? And the answer is no, right? You are maintaining your purity, because the purity is based on your honest truth, right? Your emotional, your truth about your emotional needs, right? So the way that the guide came through in the other reading was this raccoon energy. So it's like the emperor in hiding is the way it's coming through. I don't want to read the full card, but it talks about hidden potential, hidden creativity. So it is like coming through, like it came through with not for you, basically, but it was in reverse. So it's almost like the way it was coming through was like, you know, when somebody pushes somebody away because they see themselves as a dark person, it's like, I've got devils, I've got things to deal with, you know, I can't have you around me because of the darkness around me. Again, like the darkness around me. So it's like, it's almost like this is coming through as you, right? Speaking your authentic truth, but the trees or the environment is kind of veiling this almost quite, it's a sneaky, it's almost like Seven of Swords energy for me, this. It's like sneaking around in the darkness, right? So sneaking around in the darkness, watching you, and I want to say coming towards your light. It's like it's coming out, right? It's like it's something about you, right? This is behind the curtain or in the shadows, and it's like your authenticity or your light, your purity is drawing it out of the darkness. Do you see? So it's like it's coming out of the darkness towards your light. So it's giving me that Gloria Estefan song, out of nowhere into the light. It's attracted to your light, which is coming through with this message of almost like this raccoon could, because it's attracted to your light, it's like making it so, it's almost like the carrot, right? The carrot on the stick. It's like, because it's attracted to your light, it could be seeing you as devil energy. It could be thinking, is this a trick? Or you could be thinking this about the raccoon because it's secretive, because it's hidden, right? It's like an awareness that there's darkness there, an awareness that there's secrets, an awareness that there's things that are hidden. So it could be triggering red flags. But because not for you came out in reverse, right? And because that means it's the protection message, it means that there's some protection going on. It's like the veil is creating some kind of protection. Not only that you're protecting, it's like it's behind your back, you know, it's like, get behind me, Satan, but it's like protective. I want to say it's not the devil, right? It's not the devil. I don't think you're protecting anything that's actually evil, but it's more like you're protecting something that could be perceived as bad because you see the truth of it, right? You see you see both the black and the white of it. You see the complexities of whatever that energy is. It's an interesting reading. It's hard to get to grips with. So this veil over your eyes as well, it's like there's something that is hidden from you. It's like it's behind your back. It's there, but it's behind your back. It's hidden from you. But it's like, it's okay that it's hidden from you, because it's like, trust the great mystery. So there's things that you don't know, and you're being called to trust, right? Like, trust the veil, because it's there for your protection, right? The universe has got this. You don't actually have to do anything except for stay in balance and speak your truth. And the universe is dealing with things behind the scenes. It's like, it's all going on behind that curtain. Like, and the curtain is protecting you. You don't have to worry about it. The universe has got this one. So Libra. So this thing that's being drawn out, it's like it's going to step out from behind the curtain. It's going to come into your light, right? And look at all this purity and like the snow and the whiteness, and like it's like there's a lot going on inside you. It's almost like this landscape is like your dream space. It's your inner world. Like all this that's going on inside you. You know, I could be bounded in a nutshell and call myself a king of infinite space. It's like your own, I don't know, it's just something going on that's internal, and it's this big landscape. But there is this kind of like black swan energy coming through, where it's like something from the darkness is being drawn out into the light, right? Into the, like the devil stepping into the sunlight. It's going to be seen. It's going to be seen for its true colours. And it's like the raccoon, when it steps into the light, it becomes a zebra. So it's just like you, I want to say, and it could be your own shadow, right? Your own shadow self, the part of you that you've kept hidden. But it's like when it steps out into the light, when it comes into focus, when you see it clearly, you see, or you are seen for your complexity, right? You are seen for your uniqueness. You are seen for your individuality. And you're no longer this like sneaky raccoon thief. You become this very unique, very individual, very integrated, like balanced, integrated personality. Now this is Aquarian energy for me. You could have Aquarius in your chart, but not necessarily. It could also be whatever this second energy is that I'm picking up on. But as well, it's like it's coming through the raccoon, as well as not for you and protection, not for you in reverse, which is significant, and protection is coming through with the Muse of Emotions. Now this is Scorpio, right? It is the Scorpio card. It is Plutonic energy. And it's the King of Cups. So it's like there's deep emotions here. There is deep Scorpio is a protective energy. It's just a really good card. I may have to read this one for you, but it's coming through as you as well. It's like there's this weird, I don't know if like both like you in front of the veil and you behind the veil. I don't know if the raccoon is you, right? And your deep emotions, like the unconditional love part of yourself. I'm not sure, but there's like when it steps out, this is authentic, right? This is authentic, which makes it strong. And it's not scary. It's not bad. It's a very positive energy. The zebra is a really good energy. Let me read the King of Cups. So you can just understand like how, like this hidden thing, this hidden part of yourself, or this second person is, or the second energy. The thing that's being hidden is connected to the Ace of Cups energy. It's connected to the deep emotions, the unconditional love. It's like it is the whale, right? It is this being that's capable of diving deep into the subconscious, or you know, it is very psychic. It is that kind of high priestess energy. It could be your own psychic. Again, the veil representing perhaps psychic ability, or the veil between worlds. It's like it can plunge really deep. It can go really deep. It's coming through as good energy, which is it's confusing. There is something really confusing about this, because although this is really positive, right? Although this is like deep emotions, like unconditional love, sort of this big spirit, it's in hiding, which makes it untrustworthy. So it's like when it does step into the light, when you do perceive it clearly, that's when the trust can come in. I want to say something like that. But again, there's this kind of two-way protection going on with these cards. I'm really into it, and it's hard to explain it because it's complex, which again could be part of the message. Like, it's hard to explain this energy because it's complex, which may be why it's something that's been hidden, right? Because, and hidden and protected because of the complexity. It may be that other people may not understand what this is, but the zebra is like authentic and individual, and like owns its authenticity and individuality. It like owns its light and its shadow. I have this thing, again, it's a bit of a creepy song, but it's Crywolf Stomach It, and he says, bless my darkness, bless my light. And it's like, and I wrote, sometimes the light looks like the devil. Because sometimes, like, we're drawn to things, right? And sometimes when we're drawn to things, we question ourselves, is this toxic? You know, is this addictive? Devil energy can be like addictive or obsessive energy. But that energy is not necessarily bad in itself. If you're addicted or obsessed with something that's toxic and bad, for example, alcohol addiction, you know, that is destructive. But this same energy can be also applied to things like, you know, people who are incredibly passionate about their work or about something that they're discovering. You know, if you think about like people in the field of scientific discovery and this kind of like obsessive, it kind of came through this kind of King of Swords energy the other day in one of the readings, like this obsessive kind of deep delve into something that you're really passionate about, and then it's like new things get discovered, right? Because people are so enthusiastic about what they do. So this is the kind of energy that gets somebody to do a PhD, you know, because they are so committed and they dive so deep into it. It's the same energy, you know, it's just, you can be obsessed with good things that are positive and bring light to the world, or you can be obsessed with dark things that are self-destructive. So it's not the energy itself that's bad, it's how it's applied. So it's like the carrot energy, it's like, I'm really obsessed with this thing, I'm really drawn to this thing. Is it negative? It's kind of throwing up those red flags, but I want to say it's not negative, right? It's when you own it, when you own the light and the shadow, it then becomes purity. I don't know. Right, Muse of Emotions. Compassion, joy for the freedom to feel all the emotions as a way of self-discovery. So don't deny any emotions, like take the deep dive of the whale. Transcendent states of bliss, meditation, inner calm and knowing, being totally in touch with your desires, which is exactly what's happening here, right? Being totally in touch with your desires and having that balance with the emotions. So this is like, it feels like you, but also perhaps them, or this is like your higher self. And balanced and peaceful emotions, avoiding moodiness, rinsing the shadow, exactly, it's like cleansing the shadow. And there's something about the purity of snow as well. Like, if you think about, because I always say you're the diamond heart, right? You are this diamond, like, or crystal energy that shines a light through things. It's like you can transmute the darkness. You can take the darkness, transmute it through your crystal energy and see it, like, split it out into all its colors and really see it for the complexity that it is, and you can transmute that and turn it into light. It's like you take the dark and you turn it into light. That's your kind of like special ability. And I want to say as well, there's something about the zebra where it talks about, or the dolphin as well, I believe, where they talk about healing, like your ability to heal not just yourself but others, right? To take the darkness and transmute it into light. And so the snow is coming through. If you think about, like, it's frozen water, right? It's frozen water, it's ice crystals. So it's like the snow is actually, I believe snow isn't white. I think it's raining really heavily as I say that. It's almost sleet. So it's like the snow, I believe, isn't white. The snow is clear. It's like a crystal, right? It's just reflecting, you know, the clouds. You know, there's something about the translucity of the snow is actually, if you think about when it snows, right, it could be like dog poo on the ground and stuff, and it's like it snows and it's like crystal white. It's like it is like a veil, it is a covering. So there's something about that as well, like the frozen water, right? So taking a deep dive into the water, but the water being frozen, there's something about that as well. And, you know, the translucity of water, like the ocean looks blue because it reflects the sky, you know. Come, tiny vessel of love, to the place where water drops off and pours everything into the sweet shell of life. This message of highest love resides where the bits and pieces of your anger and sadness are brewed and alchemized into beautiful experiences for the soul. for they too are experiences to be cherished and learned from. Come meditatively, quietly, calmly, with everything that you are. Leave nothing behind, all the darkness and all the light, right? For you will need it all in this place of mindful understanding. Steer clear of manipulation and moodiness, and come into the night on sweet waves of kindness. For they are the waves that will push you past the riptide. They will float you to the sandbanks of connection and invite you to explore your inner world, right? Inner world, that's coming up next, with the gentlest compassion. Your task is to simply be true to your heart and accepting of the nature that is, as the healing waters of pure love are headed your way. Attend awareness of perception, reaction, emotion, empathetic and true. Sensitive wisdom who crosses this sea, the subtle magic of now lies with you. So there's something about this, and I'm saying Emperor energy because it's Plutonic, which to me is like the Plutonic Emperor. Now, Emperor is normally Taurus, Aries, but I have a guide who's kind of like this Pluto Emperor. And I have a specific deck with this Pluto Emperor in. And then when I kind of tag the page, I've got the Elk, which is the Emperor card. So it's almost like the vulnerable Emperor, the Emperor in hiding, the Emperor who is going through an awakening, perhaps, the Emperor who is doing a deep dive into their own psyche, their own soul. So whatever, and it could be your Emperor, right? You are the Empress, but we have light and shadow. So it could be your own inner Emperor doing the deep, like your own inner Emperor in King of Cups energy, doing some really deep dive into his emotions and desires. But while he's doing that, while he's vulnerable, I'm saying he, she, they, just it's Emperor energy, so I'm saying he, but switch it and reverse it as needs be. Again, Libra, you are light and dark, right? You are masculine, feminine, you are yin and yang, you sit in the midline, which is your superpower, right? So it's like you are guarding or hiding this, whatever this energy is, like the emperor in his emotions, right? The emperor who's vulnerable, like as he's doing that deep dive, you're protecting it. Okay, so then we go into, so the Emperor comes out of the shadow, comes out of hiding, comes back into your light, which is your unconditional love, right? You're the purity of your own unconditional love, which is an energy of accepting both the light and the shadow, and seeing all the grey areas and seeing the complexity of that. So it steps out as this authentic zebra, which I want to say matches you, and that you both have this kind of like, I don't know why it's coming through like a socket, right? Like a socket energy with the unicorn horn and this being like the socket. It's like you are plugged into one another. You are compatible. It's like your plugs match. It's coming through a bit lewd now, especially with that slip of the tongue. But it's like you are compatible is the way it's coming through, because you could have some kind of psychic connection here again with the water and the veil indicating subconsciousness, or it could be that your guide, your spirit guide that's coming through in this reading, like there's a compatibility here. You are plugged into each other, or you have the capacity to plug into each other, and it's like you can tap into the with this third eye energy. It's like you can see inside the zebra, you see beyond the black and white, and you see again with that transmutative ability of like putting the black and white through the lens, right? And like when you shine light through a prism, that's what I've seen a prism. I can come back to that. So when you shine a light through a prism, it separates the light into all the different colors, right? All the rainbow colors. But to be able to see, to be able to have vision, you need both black and white. You know, you can't see shadows in the darkness, and you can't, like, I don't know, you need, like, the shadows absorb the light so that, like, you can see color. That's how eyes work, right? So there's something about the ability you have to be able to see beyond the black and white, to be able to see all the true colors of this character. And it's like in their inner world, right? When you plug in, when you tap in to what's inside this black and white energy, is this dolphin energy. It's like this inner world, again, like with the whale spirit. There's something about this, like exploring the emotions, exploring the waters, and it being very, very positive and very, very happy. So the dolphin card, it's like, it's one of the most positive, like it's so close to the sun card in terms of like positivity and light and hopefulness and playfulness. It's like what's inside, like when you get inside beyond the black and white energy, there's some really good emotions to explore there, and a huge amount of abundant creativity. So it's like this, like when you open up, when you peel back the layer, when you remove the veil, right? When you remove the veil and you can see this energy clearly, it feels like it's a two-way thing. It's like incredibly, there's just a lot going on in there, right? There's a lot going on in terms of creativity and happiness. It's whatever it is, it's really, really good, right? Deep emotions, happiness, positivity, creativity. And you've even got here like the milk and honey card here, which is one of the most positive cards in the deck. You've got this rainbow indicating not only healing, but again, like the whole like spectrum of colors of human experience, of human emotions being seen and accepted, which leads to this happiness. So this gives me like, she's a maniac. If you've ever seen the gorilla who's having the time of his life in the paddling pool. And it makes me think of coffee as well. I really like sugary milky coffee. It just brings back good feelings, right? The milk and honey card is like enjoying life. So you've got all this really good stuff that's inside, but it's the exploration of this, right? The exploration of the subconscious, or the exploration of deep emotions, is there's vulnerability there. So again, you have this Seven of Voices, which is like, God bless my light, God bless my dark, right? The duality of it, and you being the bridge, right? You being in the center ground between these complex energies that not everybody can understand. And then over here as well, it's patterning, right? I'm seeing this everywhere. So you have like you, right? So the way I saw these cards, right? So I shuffled them and I went to put them down, and the cards went like this, right? Like this. So it was showing me the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. So this talks to me about Ten of Cups energy. So Ten of Cups is like happiness shared with others. Ten of Pentacles is like wealth shared with others. So there's this, you've got two of the most positive cards in the deck, and they're both connected to you, because next to the Ten of Pentacles is justice. Again, it's like, don't worry about the money. Like, it's part of it's like the money is being taken care of by the organization that you're in, or something like that, or the I don't know what that is, but again, the light and the dark, right? And the sword of truth. And then again, this like lock and key energy. It's really cool. I don't know, like something is unlocking, and it's very creative. And then even here, right, with the Ten of Cups, again, it's linked to the Hermit there. Interesting. So I didn't see the Hermit card, the Virgo card. But again, the Hermit card is like going within, like connecting to divine source energy, right? Divine creativity energy, like unconditional love, like that kind of universal tap that is ever flowing and available to everybody. And then you're there, right? The Emperor's card is your card in the tarot. The Justice card and the Emperor's card are your cards in the tarot, and they're extremely strong energy. So you're connected to this Ten of Cups and Ten of Pentacles energy. You are creating it, right? You're part of the creation of this. Not only that, you've also got this Archangel, which unbelievably like Christiel, it's like crystal, right? Light, Christ light, which is like the unconditional love, Christ consciousness, connectivity, higher consciousness. You're tapping into that. You are tapping into that. It's like God is behind the veil, but God is in raccoon mode right now. So such strong energy, and we're 30 minutes in, and I haven't actually done your actual reading. Like regeneration as well. It's like, it's something regenerating. There's something, it's like this two-way protection between you and the raccoon. And again, it could be like your light and dark, your Empress and Emperor energy within. Let me read this card, because this is the card that came out at the end of the previous reading. It's like reminding you, Libra, of who you are and what you have. So it's almost like the unveiling, right? It's like here you are building something on these two twin pillars of three pillars, right? You've got three of the aces. You've got the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Wands here, all being held by this hand of God energy, while this thing percolates in the background, and it comes out and it's revealed to be so, it's like a whole new world within yourself. It's like very, very cool, but complex, right? It's difficult to understand what this is. So let me just read this Empress energy, and then I'm going to stop and just refocus, and we're going to do the reading straight, right? The Empress, nurturing energy, mothering love from the universe, Gaia and the divine feminine, fertility, healing, self-love, compassion, creating a path that is healing for yourself and others, unbridled creativity, fruit from the creatrix, Dripping with creation, the Empress strolls gracefully in her garden of ideas. She whistles tones of sacred geometry and spirals her voice into beautiful new patterns and timelines. So again, it's like the sword represents your ability to communicate. It represents your voice, voicing your ideas, voicing your needs, voicing whatever this is. Seeds spark, plants begin to shoot, and from somewhere across the distance she hears the voices of singing children who are dancing their futures to life. Smiling, she pulls her hood back and showers their paths with new energy. Planets, worlds, lives, and love spiral out auspiciously from her starseed core, and they spiral out to you. You can access this ancient creator energy and birth your creations from your most readily available resource, love, right? The Ace of Cups, going back to the Ace of Cups, right? The Ace of Cups, the cup overflows. There's no shortage of this. Like, that light can shine forever. It's like, I don't know, the everlasting gobstopper of love. It's like that resource that you can, it's almost like you're sucking it in, right? You're sucking in the light from your environment, but shining out at the same time. It's like when you can meditate and you go in and you tap into whatever that Christ consciousness is, right? Whatever that God energy or universe energy, it doesn't run out. It can't run out. It's ever abundant, right? It just cycles through. So you can tap into that deep psychic energy, that deep emotional energy, and it's never going to stop, right? There's enough for everyone, right? It's a never depleting resource. So it's like you give this, right? You have this, you give it to the zebra and unlock something here. It's the way it's coming through. Yeah, love. You're never going to run out of love, Libra. That's your magic power, right? You are made of the same fairy dust and shaped from the elements that originated from deep within her Big Bang heart. Use her musings to bring your most exquisite visions into being. Her golden seeds are, after all, everywhere. Or wait, did you think those seeds were lemons? She muses. What a wonderful day to make some lemonade. Like, genuinely, this is the card that came out for you, right? And I always talk about things being bittersweet, right? Wanting to be more sweet than bitter, but also bitter. There's a book out at the moment. It keeps getting advertised to me on Spotify. I think it's called Bittersweet, and it's like there's something about the mix of like sadness and love, right? The bitter and the sweet that is part of this ability to tap into a very human experience and the creative potential of that. It's like there's something good about the bittersweetness, and you have the ability to make that lemonade, Libra. It comes out for you all the time, right? Lemons and lemonade. All the creative and all the dreams, bubbles and musings from earth, life full of creation, she flows from the seams, spilling in bruins of birth. So it's like you have this, Libra, you have this very unique gift, this very unique ability to almost to love the unlovable in a non-toxic way, where you take the toxicity and you replace it with love and you replace it with light in a way that heals, I want to say, the darkness in others. It's like you transmute that, the pain or the fear or the devil energy in others. It's like you mix it, right? You mix it with your never-ending supply of sweetness to create this bittersweet energy, which is more like the golden shadow. It's like this, it's like a new, like it's almost like going beyond black and white into, it's like taking it into your forest, taking it into your world, right? It's like bringing it into your world and then transmuting it and then spitting it back out as this completely, it's like you are the black hole almost, right? You are the black hole. It's been coming through in a few different readings where, you know, all the rules, when they discovered black holes, it's like all the rules of physics kind of went out the window, because it's like, how can it indefinitely suck in, right? How can it indefinitely, like you're doing, right, draw things in? But it's like, it doesn't, it breaks everything down and it kind of changes it at a molecular level and spits out this, it's called like, what's his name, Hawking's radiation. It's like, but like the Hawking's radiation for you, when you spit it back out, is like this 10 of Cups energy, right? It's very transmutative, it's very healing, it's very, very cool. So don't think that you're dark, because you're not. You are this like transformation point, right? You are the in-between, you are the, it's very cool. Just obviously protect yourself. Obviously, make wise decisions. You are a very intellectual energy, so I do feel like you are capable of keeping yourself safe, Libra. Just be careful who you're dealing with. But I want to say it's almost like this Emperor is almost in hiding because it's either scared of your purity, scared of your light, or it's in this kind of like deep delve phase where it's not quite ready to step out into the light and show its true colors yet. It's like it's still figuring this out itself. But it's like also it's like it doesn't want to, it's almost like it doesn't want to pollute your purity. There's something with this energy, it's like it doesn't want to pollute your purity with its darkness, but it's like it's missing the point. It's missing the point because it's like it's something to do with like the collaboration of this, like this, like it's coming through like so like mushrooms and mycelium and fungus, it can take the toxins out of the earth and grow from that, right? It grows because it draws in the toxins, and like trees as well, because you're coming through with a lot of tree energy. It's like trees, they suck in the carbon dioxide and they emit oxygen. So there's something about your ability to transmute the dark into lightness that is, there's a benefit here to this collaboration, you know, there's a benefit to this. It's like it's giving you the dark matter, whatever its darkness is. It's like it's giving you the dark matter you need to do whatever it is that you're, you know, it's like you're psychically transmuting it or something like that into positive energy, into light, into creativity. It's like you are the golden shadow that is this fulcrum between, because it's not separating light from darkness, right? It's not saying this is light, this is darkness, therefore we'll only take the light. It's saying we recognize that everybody has light and darkness within them. Everybody is a mix of good and bad. So what we need to do is tap into what's going on behind the surface, right? And look at everything in its full spectrum of colors here. We need to look at the complexity of the situation and transmute it into something that's positive and light. I don't know. I don't know it any more than that. Right, very, very, very quickly, because I'm aware of like how much time this is taking up already, and I do actually need to upload this today. I'm going to take the original reading down and put this reading up, because when I was originally doing it, I didn't quite understand what was happening. It's a really complex reading and I didn't explain it very well. So I'm going to go again. We're going to see what comes out today. Kind of, I'm just aware of this kind of like the sun, you, and the plutonic energy. Like, it's like you're blocking the light, because it's like you're blocking the light from shining on this energy because you're protecting it while it does the deep dive, right? And then it's going to come out, it's going to come back out into the sun. But the moon is like fears and things as well, right? Okay, let me just pause. I'm going to drink some water. We'll do your reading very, very quickly. Oh, going back to my notes. You got Arcadia by Lana Del Rey. I channeled that. I stand straight like an angel, right? I got something about my left leg, sort of about halfway down my calf. This kind of like tickling feeling. Lollipops, not iced lollies, but like, you know, like sugar hard lollies. Could be something for somebody. What else? With or Without You by U2. I channeled that in the other reading as well. I'm getting lots of W's, like like Wonder Woman, right? But I got like Wild Woman of the Woods in the other reading yesterday. And then I've got Water Woman. So it was like, if you've ever seen the film The Abyss, kind of the aliens in that film are these like, they live deep, deep, deep under the water, right? And they're made of water. So I had this feeling like I was in this forest, because of the forest noises that I've got playing for your reading today. It's actually the bird noises, right? Birds being like an air animal. But there's all this water and forest noise that comes with it. And so I do find myself in the woodland a lot in meditation. And it's like I was made of water with the way it was coming through. It's like I was a human, but I was made of water. So like the creature from the abyss can like shape the water, right? It's made of water. So it's like you're made of emotions. You've integrated your emotions. But there's something like, there's some ability to like, to flow right? There's an element of flowing, of not being fixed. I also got blossom trees, and what else do I have here? Something about home, like somebody's coming home. Nothing bad, everything has a purpose and meaning. So the woodland was coming through this energy of like, it's all part of nature, right? A woodland environment is all part of nature. You know, like that thing that I had in one of the readings about a tree loses its leaves and then it regrows its leaves. And, you know, everything has a purpose to be there. It's like all part of the bigger picture is kind of how it's coming through. There's nothing bad in the woodland. Okay, so again, I want to make sure that you get the same reading as everybody else. I want to make it fair, you know, even though you've got all this extra complex stuff. So the basic reading, please, as quickly as we can. Who would like to come through for Libra? Who would like to come through for Libra, please? Who would like to come through for Libra? So the energy coming through for you, Mouse. It's funny to me. Mouse and Camel. The Camel's an interesting energy because, again, it's somebody who... the Camel has this ability to retain a lot of water, retain a lot of emotions. So, again, it's like this holding back of emotions, or the ability to... there's something in Libra readings at the moment, because it also came through, I noticed, in Cindy's reading. So Awakening to Spirit, the other Cindy. I've lost the cards now. What did I do with them? So she mentioned this, and it is coming through for you as well. Like this, it's almost like a desert environment, but instead of being a desert environment, it's like a snow. So it's like at the moment there's some kind of like freezing of the emotions going on, which is something to do with the camel, right? It's like the camel goes through the desert environment, but it has like stores of water. So there's something about like the deep like store of water. The blue colour as well seems to be something like the deep store of water that's happening. Yeah, a lot of blue energy, right? The blue moon. And this is almost like the eclipse as well. So somebody could be holding back emotions. This person, it could be somebody living, it could be somebody in the spirit world, it could be a guide of yours. But it's like, if they've disappeared, right? If they've gone into hiding, again with this kind of like scared energy, the mouse tends to be in this deck somebody who's small and scared, right? It's like they may be afraid, right? So they're hiding. But it's like... if this person's disappeared, because again, talking about my own guide, who I associate, I've got different guides, and they come through as energy, so it's hard to explain it in words. But one of my guides is this kind of like plutonic guy, right? He's gone missing. I can't find him. I'm like, where have you gone? But there's the evidence of him, so I can go in the spaces where he normally would be. And again, he comes through with this energy of protection. He like, this is a guide that protects me. That's how I associate with this energy. But I can't really connect with them at the moment. It's like they've gone into hiding. So again, this Emperor in hiding energy. It's like there's some fear here, or there's some... it's like the holding back the emotion, right? The room that this Emperor energy, this plutonic Emperor that I connect with, which is one of my guides, sometimes visually for me in meditation, one of the places I find them in is like, it's a long corridor, and it's almost like a long corridor made of like obsidian. It's very, very reflective. It's like black and reflective, sort of marble or obsidian, or like black stone energy, but very, very shiny and reflective. It's like this cold corridor. But when I went looking for this energy, or like when I found myself in this corridor, like where's that guide? They weren't there, but every surface had a layer of water. So it's like there was this energy. It's almost like the cave, right? I used to get this thing about Capricorns, and like they used to have this cave symbolism, this black cave, but it was full of water. It started like the water. It's like almost like... It's almost like in those readings, again, I don't think there's an association there. There could be if it's relevant, but it's like they used to have this thing about, because they had Pluto going retrograde in their chart as well for ages, there was this thing about Capricorns shutting down emotionally, and almost being like, I can't feel right now. And they had this like cold, dark cave energy. It's like their heart was... on lockdown, but it's like the emotions got in there, the water, like kind of, because if you think of a cave, there's cracks in the rock, right? So the water started to drip in through the cave, and it lit up and it was like, you know, it's almost like it's lighting up, you know. So there's a similar thing there, and I think it's more connected to this like scorpionic plutonic energy than specifically Capricorn. It's just it happens to Capricorn because, you know, the planet's been retrograde in their chart on and off quite a lot. But it's like, again, like, sorry, I'm going on with myself, but it's really hard to, because I pick on stuff, the stuff that I get psychically comes through as like a lot of meditation, like metaphor and psychic things, and it's not necessarily, it's hard to explain it in words without sounding batshit crazy, right? So it's like, yeah, so I want this, it's like that energy, Pluto, right, who is going retrograde again. The planet is going retrograde, and again connected to Scorpio energy, because Pluto rules Scorpio, and the moon being in Scorpio at the moment, and the eclipse energy, it's like something going on with that. The moon and Scorpio are both water signs. There's a lot of emotion there, purging, like emotional purging. So it's like whoever this guide is for you, right, and it can come through like, one energy can take a lot of different forms for a lot of different people. So it's like it's coming through as, like, again, with the raccoon energy, it's in the darkness, it's in hiding, it could be purging some shadow stuff, it could be in a very vulnerable place right now where it's having to persevere through you know, a frozen, like an emotionally frozen environment. But it's not to say, even if this person's gone cold, so it's like this person could be ghosting you, it feels like there's a block, you can't find their energy. It's like, so again, it could be somebody, my mum as well, my mum's Scorpio, and she's on the other side. So, you know, this could be my mum for me. So it's like, they are, it's like they're listening, right? You may think they're ghosting you or something, that you may think that you've been frozen out or something, but it's like they froze their emotions because they needed to feel them out or examine them. It's like they're vulnerable, but they've got the natural ability to store these emotions, right? There is water in that room, right? Okay, and it's like they're listening as well. So I don't know what that means to you, but take it or leave it. Okay. What is your relationship to this energy? What is your relationship, the viewer? What is your relationship to this energy? Regeneration, exactly, right? Again, it's like this thing about, because that card fell off, so it's like it's wanting to be seen. It's like this thing I keep getting about the woods, like the woodland, having like the black roots. It's like it's like the mycelium, right? It's like it's drawing it out of the... It's drawing the toxins out and actually transmuting it into something beneficial and light. So regeneration. So I want to say, though, if this is somebody who you have had a very, very toxic relationship with, and you do not want them in your life, and you do not give a shit about their emotions, that's not what this reading is, right? I'm not talking about that person. The people who are tapping into this reading, the people who this reading is for, will be going, yes, 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 yes. I know that energy. I know that energy, and I have unconditional love for them. And I understand. The thing is, it's like understanding, right? It's like you understand that they are in, maybe going through dark night of the soul, right? And you are, it's almost like you are protecting them, you are shielding them with love and with passion. Yes, phone, I know. Right, hang on, what's that? Rips my favorite leggings. So that's TikTok. I'm not even got TikTok, and I get notifications for them. Maybe somebody ripped the leggings, right? Maybe that's why I was getting to think about the leg. Okay. Anything that happens in a reading is part of the reading. This is how the universe communicates with us. It communicates us through synchronization and patterns, and like the right thing happening at the right time, right? It's serendipity. This is how the universe works in the 3D. So anything that happens in a reading is part of the reading. Right, relationship message. The world is based on connections and relationships. No matter what loss has occurred, so this person could be grieving, right? So when you grieve, sometimes you can have an emotional shutdown. It's like the emotions are so overwhelming that you cannot deal with them and function. So with or without you, I can't live with or without you. So it's like I have to put this on ice. I have to freeze this because I can't deal with this right now, right? So it's like sometimes it takes a long time to tap into the silver linings of grief, right? Sometimes it takes a long time to do the deep delve, to figure out what that means, to continue to transmute the negativity into positivity, and to regenerate, right? So this person, they're really, I want to say they're really going through it, right? They're very, very emotionally vulnerable. But, okay. No matter what losses occurred in the past or even now, death and endings are only illusions. I feel like this is my mum talking to me. There is life after death. Like, literally, I had 2 dreams about my mum last Sunday, and I woke up and randomized a song, and the song Janet Jackson Together Again came through for me, which already was reminding me of my mum. And then I realized that my mum's name was Janet. And I was like, oh, why didn't I realize that sooner? So it really was like my mum gave me a message. Like, she came to see me in my dreams. She gave me that song, right? So there is life after death, love after loss, and in this moment you are radiating the regenerative, do you believe in life after love? And in this moment you are radiating the regenerative life force energy that makes you irresistible to love in all forms. Now is the time when you will see evidence of this new emergence. Can you feel it? Love is rising up to greet you. It never runs out. Love never, unconditional love never ever runs out. Like, that is a universal energy that is always available to everybody to tap into. You just have to go inwards, right? You just have to meditate, go inwards and find it. Find that connection. Always there. It can't be taken from you. Regeneration. You and this energy, right? Yeah. Oh my God, look. Mother of Cups, unconditional love. 3 little birds outside my window. Singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true. This is a message for you, right? The message for you is unconditional love, care, white swan energy. Beautiful. It's so beautiful. Like, that is really, really nice energy. So this is friendship, connections, other people who can support you. Look at the similarity here of this beautiful light coming in, the light coming into the darkness. It's like they're giving me like Phil Collins now, like, I wish it would rain down on me. It's like there are supportive connections here. There is unconditional love. Again, with the Mother of Cups, it's Cancerian energy. So we've got all 3 water signs coming through now. It could be any water sign, but like, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. It almost is as well. Like, you see the darkness. It almost is like sucking up the darkness and transmuting it into light, and then almost like radiating it out, like sending out positive energy into the world. I do this myself, like when I'm going for a walk, if anyone, like, because I can kind of read people a little bit. So if somebody around me is kind of like, I think, oh, that person's having a bad day, they don't seem happy, I can tell by the way they're walking, perhaps, like their posture, their gait, you know, they seem lost in their own thoughts about something. And sometimes I receive messages about them personally, and then I can, like, without saying anything, I can send them love. I can send that light to them. I can, you know, shower their path with rainbows, so I can wish them a good day, you know? So it's like, there is energy doing this for you, right? Or you are doing this for, I think you know who this energy is, and I think you're sending them that love and light energy, right? You're sending them the energy of, you know, the birds will sing again. You know, there is life after loss. There is unconditional love. It's like you are the 4th cup. Can you see now there's 4 cups? So I think this person's in 4 of cups energy, where it's like, love is not for me. Emotions are not for me. I'm opting out. I am not engaging with cups energy anymore. But the thing with the 4 of cups is, like, the 4th cup is the Ace of Cups, right? Which is what you have. Like, it's unconditional love. It's a gift from the universe. It's peace. It's healing. It's white bird energy. So it's like you are offering this to them, right? But it takes time. Like the 4 of Cups, it takes time, right? It takes time to get over whatever the emotional disappointments or pain were of the past that's got them into 4 of Cups energy in the first place. But you're helping them. You are there for them, right? You are singing sweet songs outside the window. You know, your melody is pure and true. You do have a message for them. It's so funny. I posted a picture of a robin as well on my Twitter feed this morning. Robins are symbolic of life after death. Be fearless and bold, and elephant spirit, learn from the past. So I'm not going to read those, but then this energy's message to you is badger spirit as well, like almost a raccoon, right? Black and white. Be fearless and bold, elephant spirit, learn from the past. Personally, for me, that is really getting me my emotions, because elephants are symbolic for me of my mother. She loved elephants. They were her favorite animal. She had hundreds of elephant ornaments at one point. So yeah, my mum, as a Scorpio, is definitely coming through as my spirit guide in this reading. So it's going to come through differently for different people, but if it's your reading, you'll know it's your reading. You'll know who this is. Badger spirit, be fearless and bold. Learn from the past. So don't be afraid, right? Don't be afraid of taking the fourth cup. So it could be you that's grieving. Don't be afraid of opening your heart because you're scared that you'll be hurt again. So it's like the energy of this reading is like, I loved someone and I lost them, and that brought me a huge amount of pain, right? I'm grieving that person. I don't want to open the door. I don't want to love anyone else. I don't want to have any more connections or have any more relationships, because what if I lose them? How will I possibly deal with that pain? I can't live with or without you. So it's like this person, they want to get into a new relationship. It doesn't have to be sexual, by the way. It could be friendship, it can be whatever. It's like, I don't want to open my heart to you, because what if you get taken from me? I can't go through that again. That's the energy that's coming through here. But it's like, it's better to have fucking loved and lost than never have loved at all. So it's like, whatever lessons you have to learn from those past relationships, those past disappointments, learn them, integrate them, like do the deep dive, and then be fearless and bold about embracing your truth, embracing your light and your darkness, and going forward with your life and opening that heart again. Like, that's the beauty of the unicorn. The unicorn energy goes through the darkness in life. They go through the pain, they go through the trials, they go through the Nine of Wands energy, but they keep the heart open, and it's very difficult to do that, right? This is like, I feel like you, Libra, you're the sort of person who, you know, you don't, some people, you know that phrase, hurt people hurt people. I want to say that you don't, right? You break the chain, and that could be what why you're coming through as this fulcrum energy. It's like, you don't do it, right? You don't want to be like them. Some people are like, they emulate the pain, right? They emulate the harm that was done to them. They do it to other people, because there's this emulation energy. It's like cycles, right? Cycles of darkness. But you don't do that. You break the chain. You are the change, right? You are the one who can break those patterns and take the lesson and integrate it and find the silver linings and move and change whatever the darkness was into something that's productive and positive and light. You take the pain, and you open your heart anyway. That's your ability, but you learn from it, right? You see how it's almost like the triangle shape. Three of Wands. There's an opportunity here. There is a new portal opening up, but you've got to unwrap it, right? You've got to untangle whatever the pain or whatever the pain is for you. You need to unravel that, right? You need to figure that out. You need to draw out, you need to shine that darkness through the prism, right? Through meditation, self-exploration, see all the true colors of it. Like, this is the process for me. The imagery of this card, these two cards together, is like, this is the process. This is the darkness, the pain, the grief, the anger, whatever it is. Doing the introspection, doing the deep dive, right? It's a vulnerable period, but then you transmute it, you open it, you shine the light through, you open it up, you see all the colors of it, and you turn it into something creative. So it's like an artist, right? An artist turning their pain into art, right? It's beautiful and it's healing for other people. Because you've learned from the past, there's something about the triangle shape of the elephant as well there. Because you've learned from the past and you've transmuted the past and you turn it into, it's like you're waiting for something. You're waiting for something, I feel. Okay, so how can this energy help Libra? I feel like it's flipped and reversed. I feel like you're helping the other energy, but take it as it resonates. Goddess Lakshmi. Oh, I love it. And she's got the lotus flower as well, which again talks to me about creativity, potential. And the lotus flower as well, the lotus grows in swampy environments. So if you Google lotus flowers and like the environment that they grow in, they grow through, they actually suck up the darkness, like they suck up the swamp, right? And they pop up out of the dark waters, and they're beautiful, right? They bring beauty to the world. And they've grown in that dark environment. So again, the lotus flower seems to be very symbolic of you, prosperity, beauty, and fortune. Goddess Lakshmi. So for those of you, like as I say, the one thing that you're missing here, you've got the sword, you've got the cup, you've got the wand. So the one thing you're missing is pentacles. And I feel like the pentacles are behind the curtain. And I feel like this energy can help you. It's like they've got your back in terms of, again, it could be like some kind of grant or government funding is the way it's coming through. It's like you don't have to worry about the money. Like, this energy is here to help you with the money. Goddess Lakshmi. Also, the association with Lakshmi and Ganesh, Lord Ganesh, who removes obstacles or puts obstacles in your path, because redirection is God's protection, right? So there's somebody may have Hindi belief systems or culture connected to them. That could be part of the guide. Goddess Lakshmi is the Hindu goddess of prosperity, fortune, and beauty. She is respected and revered in the Buddhist, not Hindi. Okay, I got that wrong. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anyone. I'm a spaghetti brain, okay? I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm learning. She is respected and revered in the Buddhist and Jain paths, as well as in New Age and other spiritual belief systems. Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth and can be called upon for any issues relating to money, finance, abundance, and material wealth, connecting you to the energy of prosperity consciousness. Lakshmi shows you that money is energy, and that true wealth and abundance is not about how much money you have in the bank. It's a feeling, an energy, a way of being. The Oracle. Prosperity now. Stay in gratitude for all you have, no matter how much. Use your wealth in ways that light up your heart and soul. Remember that prosperity is not a number, it is a state of being. Call on Lakshmi for, again, I feel like it was in yesterday's reading. It could have been in the Libra reading, so I'm going to mention it again, the one that I'm not putting up. When I clarified the unicorn energy, they gave me the song For Free by Lana Del Rey. So go and have a listen to that song, For Free by Lana Del Rey. It talks about giving your gifts to the world and not charging for them, right? Which is very Jesus-like energy, I have to say. But it's like a lot of stuff is commercialized in our day and age. A lot of stuff is about the money. It's like, I'm doing this because I need to earn money. Where this is more of like, the unicorn is more of a, I'm doing this because it's right energy. And the money will naturally flow. Again, like Pluto is the god of wealth, right? So, right. Call on Lakshmi for assistance with financial issues, needing money quickly, manifesting money spells, feeling abundant and prosperous no matter how much you have in the bank, seeing the richness of your own beauty, investments, inheritance, promotions and pay rises, bills and fines. I have to take my cat to the vet today. Pray for me. Embody the energy of Lakshmi by being grateful for all you have, knowing that true prosperity is a state of mind, being generous with what you have, sharing your wealth, asking for what you're worth, spending money on the things you love and value, paying your bills on time with gratitude for the services received. That's lovely. That it's kind of making me feel like, again, talking about like the government funding, it's talking to me about taxes. I'm very pro taxes. I like my country's tax system. I like my country's welfare system. I like that everybody can receive NHS treatment because everybody pays national insurance, right? I like that everybody can see, everybody can get counselling services. Our streets get cleaned. We have lights on. We have public services that I am incredibly grateful for, and we often take for granted, right? My bin bags get collected and taken away to the tip. I don't have a car. How would I possibly get rid of my rubbish if it wasn't for the bin men? So it's like, I don't know. I like these kind of systems. I think people should pay taxes, and I think people should be proud to pay taxes. I'm not currently personally paying taxes because I don't earn enough money, because I'm doing this instead of earning money. But when I did pay taxes, I was very, very happy to. I like contributing. Yeah, so I don't think the system's perfect, but I think there's a lot of good in that system. And people can be so selfish. People are like, I want this money, it's my money. It's like, do you not want children to have hospital treatment? Do you want orphans to just die in the street, or do you want to pay for those children's hospital treatment? Like, do you want your bins to be collected, or do you want to run to the tip like every time you have bins? Like, do you want these services, or do you want to be selfish and just like keep your money to yourself? But you'll still have to pay extortionate doctor's bills because you need private treatment. It's like, I don't understand this kind of selfish and not well thought out mentality of, well, I've got money, I'm good, I don't want to pay taxes. It's like, Well, what about when everybody else is desperate and, you know, crime rates go up because nobody else has money and people start to rob your home, and but you can't get hold of the police because you've not been paying for the police, you know? It's like, don't be fucking selfish. Think, you know, free economics, right? False economics, like, I don't know, it's stupid. Right, Goddess Lakshmi. Oh yeah, so you could be having trouble with money. You could need money. That's the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. So the Nine of Pentacles in the upright is financially independent, financially not codependent in any sort of way, having financial freedom. So in the reverse, there's a suggestion that you don't have financial freedom, or you have money troubles, which again, you've got everything else going for you, but the money could be the tricky bit. So this could represent somebody who could offer you a job, right? Or offer you or teach you how to make money from your hobbies. Something like this, where it's like the money comes, but it's not the goal, right? It's like the money, when you do what you love, the money should fly. Where there's some kind of blockage, there's some kind of problem there. That's what that's saying. All right. An hour and 10 minutes. I'm so sorry, Libra. I was trying to do a quicker reading, but it's such a complex reading, and it took as long as it's took, right? But it's a good reading. It's positive. Focus on the pure emotions. Focus on the truth of your pure emotions and your creative passions, right? There's something, you're doing everything right. You are doing everything right. Something's going to come into light because it's attracted to your light, and it's going to be beneficial for you. It's going to help you with the Pentacles. Take care of yourselves, Libra. Yeah, do look after yourselves. Take care of yourselves. I just saw 011101 on the timestamp, and you are card number 11. So lots of ones. Watch out for repeating number ones. Yeah, repeating number ones. Look at this. Yeah, look at that. That's crazy. Yeah, it's like saying to me, it's repeating to me, you've got the three aces, right? You've got the Ace of Swords, you've got the Ace of Cups, you've got the Ace of Wands. The Pentacles, don't worry about. You know, the universe has got that part for you. Take care. I will see you again soon. Bye, friends.